While making any kind of a payment, we must trust, we must make a payment based on the reliability of a digital resource that is available. Make use of complex password. If a password is simple, it is like helping a hacker to hack our account. What is the function of this SWIFT means? This SWIFT is going to send a message, means a business financial transaction message from one branch of a bank to another bank internationally. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Mr. Hemant Kumar from the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. This is session 2 of Unit 5, that is Digital Banking, of a subject Banking Law and Practice for first semester BCom students. This is agenda of today's session. We are going through security measures of online banking, e-banking transactions, that is NEFT, RTGS and SWIFT. These are the topics that we need to cover in today's session. Security measures for online banking. So we are supposed to go with certain security measures in terms of online banking, because hackers, they may hack our account and they may cheat us. They may utilize our account for the fraudulent purpose, right? So to prevent this fraudulent purpose, we are supposed to go with certain precautions. We are supposed to follow what? Certain precautions. Precaution number 1, trust a reliable sources. While making any kind of online payment, we are supposed to make a payment based on a reliability, based on authenticity of a particular website. Means we keep on visiting various kinds of the website routinely, right? If I want to purchase any kind of a product, so we are supposed to make sure that the payment that we are going to make, that is authentic or no, that particular website or a particular link is authentic or no. Because if we go through some kind of link and if we enter personal details in that link, it may benefit the hacker to hack our account, right? So we are supposed to take some precautions and we are supposed to check the authenticity and the reliability of a particular website or a link before making a payment. Implement the use of multi-factor authentication. Means, say for an example, I have a PhonePe application, right? While making a payment, I have to go through two kind of password. Password number 1, it is a password of a Google Pay. Password number 2, it is a password of a cell phone or a mobile or a application, right? I had installed one app lock inside a mobile where it is going to protect the application, whether it is a PhonePe or a Google Pay. Instead of trusting on a single application, so we shall keep two password. Number 1 password is for the mobile. Number 2 password is for the PhonePe or a Google Pay or the digital payment mode that we are supposed to use for the payment, right? If there is two different passwords, it is very hard for the hacker to hack our mobile or a cell phone. Make use of complex password. If a password is simple, it is like helping a hacker to hack our account, right? So we are supposed to keep what? A difficult password, and we are not supposed to share a password with anybody else. It may be a relation, it may be a friends. Switch on text alerts. Means we are supposed to activate a text alerts in our cell phone so that whatever the transaction, what it may be debit or it may be credit, will be notified in our cell phone through digital media, right? So we are supposed to activate what? The text alerts in our cell phone. Say for an example, the amount get debited in our account, right? So the notification is sent by the end of a banker, right? So that we come to know about a financial condition of our account. Prevent the use of public Wi-Fi and switch off a PC when it is not required. If I connect to a public Wi-Fi, right? So the hackers may hack my account through Wi-Fi, and also we are supposed to do what? Switch off when the PC is not required. Means we are not using the PC, we are supposed to do what? Shut down the PC, because if it is on, so they may take the details of my account, they may hack it. Protect your online banking against phishing scams. So it is a kind of scam where people that they are going to send a link, right? So there are number of link that is going to come for our mobile. It may be through mail, it may be through WhatsApp, or it may be through a text message. So what happens if I click that particular link? Okay, so it is an access that I had given to the hacker to interfere in my personal details of the mobile, right? So whatever the personal things that is included in the mobile, that will be accessed by the hacker by this concept. We call it as a fishery. Means we are supposed to click a reliable and the authentic link. Without authenticity, without the reliability, we are not supposed to click any kind of a link that is sent by hackers. Next concept is RTGS. This RTGS is real-time gross settlement. It had introduced in 2004, and there is a minimum limit for the transaction through RTGS, that is 2 lakh rupees. We are supposed to transact minimum of 2 lakh rupees through this RTGS, right? And through RTGS, a transaction, a payment and a settlement, it is going to happen within 30 minutes. Okay, within 30 minutes, payment and a settlement is going to happen through RTGS. I repeat, this RTGS was introduced in 2004. A minimum limit for the RTGS transaction is 2 lakh rupees, and there is no maximum limit for the RTGS transaction. If there is a maximum limit, that must be fixed by a particular banker as per their standards. Okay, and in the same way, within 30 minutes of time, it can transfer the amount from one account to other account. This RTGS is a real-time gross settlement. It is an electronic payment system that transfer the fund from one bank to another bank inside the India. Means it can make any kind of a transaction, any number of transactions within the banks of India. Okay, it is going to facilitate a safe and secure transaction of fund through various banks in India, right? So it is going to make a transaction only in India. It is not applicable for the foreign countries to make foreign transaction. This RTGS is highly meant for the large transactions and also time sensitive transactions. Means the limit itself, it is a 2 lakh rupees, that is a minimum limit that had set by the Reserve Bank of India, and in the same way it is a time sensitive transaction where we doesn't have more time for the transaction, right? So it can, the transaction can happen by 30 minutes when it come in terms of RTGS. So also it is going to process individually and continuously throughout a day. Means in a day he can make a single transaction or a number of transactions within the particular day. Means he can make any number of transactions in a day, that we call it as a RTGS. I repeat, this RTGS is a real-time gross settlement, and it is an electronic payment mode that we are supposed to use for the authentic transaction of money to the banks from one bank to another in India. Okay, so it is applicable for the transaction between banks in India, not in foreign countries. And also this RTGS is used for large term and time sensitive transaction. Means large term means minimum we are supposed to pay 2 lakh rupees, and time sensitive means we doesn't have much time, means we can go with the RTGS, that is within 30 minutes the transaction is going to happen, whether it is a payment and settlement. And also we can do any number of payments throughout a day, individually or collectively. Features of RTGS: real-time online fund transfer. So in terms of RTGS, it is going to transfer the fund in real time. Means it does not consume more time like other payment mode. It is going to transfer the fund, as I said, it may take around 30 minutes to transfer the fund from one account to another account, and within 2 hours. Okay, within 2 hours it is going to send a notification for the sender, the amount had debited from your account, right? Used for high value transaction. This RTGS is preferred to make higher transactions, that is more than 2 lakh rupees. As I said, a minimum limit is 2 lakh rupees, safe and secured by RBI's banking. Means whatever the transaction that is going to happen through RTGS, the RBI is the responsible person. Means it is going to take care of the authenticity of the RTGS transaction, whatever the transaction that we are going to make through RTGS. Immediate clearing means a clearing is going to happen within 2 hours of time, right? So in terms of RTGS, immediately the clearance is going to happen. It may take maximum of 2 hours of time and minimum of 30 minutes. Funds credited on a gross or one-on-one basis. Means funds that must be credited under RTGS, it may be on one-on-one basis or a gross basis. Two kinds of the transaction that is going to happen in terms of RTGS. RTGS operates 24/7. There is accessibility for the customers of RTGS system, that is 24/7 accessibility. This is a second mode of financial transaction under a e-banking system, that is NEFT, that is National Electronic Fund Transfer, that we call it as a National Electronic Fund Transfer. This NEFT had introduced in the year 2005. A benefit of this NEFT is a minimum amount that can be transferred is 1 rupee and a maximum amount that can be transferred is no limit. Right? So through NEFT, if we have the account number of an individual, if we have a Aadhaar and a PAN number of an individual where we are supposed to transfer the amount, so this minimum of 1 rupee that we are supposed to transfer, and maximum there is no limit. And if there is a limit also, that limit will be fixed by the banking company, right, based on their standard. It varies from one bank to another bank. And in the same way, a special kind of a transaction that is going to happen through this method, that is, there is a person who doesn't have any bank account, we can make a payment for that kind of a persons also. A kind of a special feature of NEFT is, if a person he doesn't have bank account, we can transfer amount to his account. This NEFT have a salient feature. A person he doesn't have any bank account, right? He can transfer up to 50,000 rupees. Means he doesn't have any bank account. He can transfer the amount up to 50,000 rupees by using NEFT, right? So it is a salient feature of a NEFT. And also this is completely different from RTGS. In terms of RTGS, a minimum transaction amount is 2 lakh rupees and maximum limit is unlimited. But when it comes in terms of NEFT, so the minimum of 1 rupees can be transferred and maximum of no limit, means maximum limit is not there, right? So they can transfer any amount of money and anywhere at any time, right? So in terms of NEFT, earlier before 2020, the banks were charging the amount for the transaction that is going to happen through NEFT. But after December 2020, banks are not charging any kind of extra charges to make transaction in NEFT, right? So the transaction of NEFT is free of cost, but certain rules and regulations are applicable. And before December 2022, there was a provision for the NEFT transaction only 6 days a week. Okay, so there is a provision for a NEFT transaction for people, that is 6 days a week only during a bank hours. But after December 2020, from January 2021, they give access of 24/7 for the NEFT transaction. Means Reserve Bank of India gave a provision to make 24/7 accessibility of a NEFT after December 2020. Means from 1st January 2021, the course had been implemented. So this NEFT is a electronic payment system that had been introduced by Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so this NEFT is a electronic payment system. Okay, so that had been introduced by Reserve Bank of India in the year 2005. So it is a convenient and a secured method to transfer any number of times and any number of amount throughout India, right? So the transaction can happen only throughout India, not for the foreign countries or foreign banks. Operating on deferred net settlement basis. So it is going to operate on the basis of a net settlement system. NEFT practice transactions in batches at scheduled intervals throughout the day. Means it is going to schedule the intervals for the banking transaction throughout the day. Means in terms of RTGS, there was a continuous and the comprehensive, right? So payment methodology or the payment system. But when it come in terms of a NEFT, okay, that thing does not apply for the NEFT. Okay, so there is a limit. Means there is a specified period of time. Only after that specified period of time the payment get settled. So, and also this NEFT is making available a seamless and a efficient fund transfer throughout all the banks in India. Means it is a seamless and a secured bank transaction which is assured by the Reserve Bank of India. Whatever the things that is going to happen, the Reserve Bank of India is responsible so that the individual can have a good banking experience. So that the individual can have a good experience of banking transactions. There are few features of a NEFT. Number one, round the clock availability. So as I said, before 2020 December, so there was a accessibility of only 6 days a week, and in the same way whatever the transaction that must be happen that in the working hours of a bank, right? So after 2020 December means January 2021, from January 2021 they gave a 24/7 access for the NEFT transaction. Okay, so they give an access of 24/7 for the NEFT transaction, that we call it as a round the clock availability. Near real time transfer. So it is going to transfer the amount for the beneficiary account, right? So it is going to transfer the amount for the beneficiary account in the real time basis. Means whatever the transaction that is going to happen, that is in real time. That is near real time. It is not real time, it is near real time. In terms of RTGS, it may take minimum 30 minutes. In terms of NEFT, it is going to take minimum of 2 hours to make a transaction. To transfer the amount, it is going to take a minimum of 2 hours to make any kind of transaction. Pan-India coverage. This NEFT is going to cover whole India, including the states of Jammu and Kashmir. It is applicable for whole India, including the states of Jammu and Kashmir. Positive confirmation. After the amount get credited to the recipient, the notification is sent by a banker to the sender saying that the amount had transferred for the recipient, right? So it is going to send a notification for a sender that the amount had credited to a receiver. Means it is going to send a notification regarding the transaction. Penal interest provision. If there is any kind of a delay in a transaction, if there is any problem in a transaction, okay, this RBI is responsible for the things or the cause that is going to happen in the NEFT, right? This RBI is responsible for any kind of a mistake that is going to happen through NEFT. Say for an example, there is a delay with the payment. If there is no proper update regarding the payment and the settlement, so RBI is going to pay a compensation for the person who had deposit or delivered the amount. No charges for savings account customers. A person, if he have a saving account in the bank, so bank is not at all going to charge a single rupee for the transaction, that is NEFT transaction. If a person, he doesn't have any account in a bank, he can transact up to 50,000 rupees, means based on certain criteria, and also he is liable to pay some charges for the bank. SWIFT. What is this SWIFT? This SWIFT is a Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Society for Worldwide Financial Telecommunication, that is SWIFT. This SWIFT is a global cooperative set up by the banking and cooperative institutions, and its obligation to manage a secure channel for exchanging information related to the international money transfers between member bank. Means when it come in terms of RTGS or NEFT, it is going to make a national transaction, the transaction that is going to happen within a country, but this SWIFT deals with the international transactions. Means it is going to maintain a privacy of information regarding the financial transaction that is going to happen for the member countries or a member bank that is going to work in foreign countries. So when it come in terms of RTGS or NEFT, account number is enough to make any kind of transaction because that transaction was happening within India. But when it come in terms of a SWIFT, so the transaction is going to happen for the member bank that is in foreign country. Okay, so how they are going to transfer the amount? By using a unique ID number. Okay, so there is a unique ID of the particular branch of a bank that is located in a foreign country. Based on that unique identity number that they are going to transfer the money. By using that unique identity number that they are going to transact the information that is regarding the finance. This SWIFT system is going to act as an agent to serve banking companies. What is the function of this SWIFT means? This SWIFT is going to send a message, means a business financial transaction message from one branch of a bank to another bank internationally. Means if any message should be passed from India to America, India to China, India to Japan, India to Nepal, right? So it is going to happen through SWIFT. Say for an example, I am going to deposit a amount. They are going to enter in a system, right? So if I deposit an amount that must be transferred to America, that is going to happen only through SWIFT, right? So it is the way how the SWIFT is going to work in the international level. Means SWIFT had introduced in the year 1973, and at the beginning it had rendered a service. It had started rendering a service for 239 participating banks. Okay, it had started its service by rendering 239 participative banks, and it had started a sending message, means a financial message from one branch to another branch in 1977. Okay, but in 2022, so it reached around 4.48 crore transaction per day, 4.48 crore message per day. Means it used to transact a 4.48 crore message a day in 2022. Means it had developed from 1977 to 2022. In the next session, we are going through the topics of difference between traditional banking and e-banking practices, concept of mobile banking, types of mobile banking services. These are the various topics that we need to cover in next session. Thank you.